Zach, we're talking about Destiny.
It's time to talk about Destiny.
A little history lesson. Destiny 1 came out, and it was a very new idea for a game, and there were a lot of things to like and a lot of things to dislike. And there was a couple of DLCs that followed it, but Destiny 1 didn't become a truly great game until Year 2, Taken King, a huge update that changed a lot, added a lot, and it flipped the script, if you want to say that. But Destiny 2 came out, not a ton of positive things to say about it, and here we are a year later, and once again, we have a huge DLC coming out called Forsaken. And Zach, I think they did it again.
I think they might have done it as well. And I think they're very aware that people are probably not quite ready to forgive them. So they've sort of extended an olive branch in that their seasonal stuff is going to be free still.
Yes, it's very interesting. So, we'll talk about Forsaken more when it launches next Tuesday, but it's interesting because they released an infographic, which I will show on screen right now, but it basically has 2 tracks. There's the free seasonal updates track on the left and the annual pass updates track on the right. Everyone gets access to the free seasonal stuff, but if you buy the annual pass, you also get a little bit extra. So, for instance, season 1, that is, or whatever season we're in right now, I guess season 5 or 4, I'm not really sure what, but the first season of Forsaken is called, what is it called? The Season of the Outlaw. And this is very Forsaken focused. You're hunting the Barons. Gambit is the new crazy thing that's happening, where it's like PvP but also PvE, like an interesting mix. The raid is happening. Their big push is they don't want there to be any content droughts. They want it to be they want to bring back the hobby. They want people to play on a weekly basis, which they have not been doing with Destiny 2. So, just a brief overview of it. In December, there's going to be the first annual pass event, which is the Black Armory, which is access to the Black Armory, which is a bunch of weapons. I don't really know what's going to happen, but new Forges of Chain activity. I don't know that they've talked about what that is. There's a new raid lair, new exotics, and the people in the season, the free seasonal updates, they get new weapons. They get the return of heavy machine guns, which I'm heavily anticipating that. But the Black Armory, spring 2019 is Joker's Wild, which is more focused on Gambit, and then summer is just called Penumbra, and they're not really saying what that is, but
they wanted to bring back the mystery in Destiny. That was a big thing that wasn't really there. Like, we talked a little bit about this, about how Xur, like everyone always knew exactly where Xur was because he was marked on the map, and now he's not you're gonna have to go find him now. So bringing back the mystery to things where they don't necessarily spell everything out for you, and you're going to have to kind of work together with other people, other Destiny players to figure stuff out. So
yeah, like probably the most exciting thing that's happened in recent memory is that Whisper of the Worm thing that came out, where people just discovered on their own there was this crazy quest you could do that led to you getting this really, really good sniper. And I feel like they learned a lot from that, and they're like, yeah, we need to infuse mystery back in this. We shouldn't spell everything out like we've been doing. Like, they changed the director to kind of reflect that, where there's more information on it, but it's cleaner, and you don't necessarily get everything written out for you.
Yeah, you don't just pull out the little sub menu that shows all of your milestones. Now they have like little yellow dots that indicate sort of notification style that, oh, there's something new to do here, something that you can earn if you do something.
Yeah, like, why not go check this out? Like, maybe you'll discover something, you know? And I feel like they have learned a little bit, and I feel like there is a lot of stuff they're not talking about that we're going to uncover. Like, there's going to be secret quests and things like that. I have been, like, people have data mined and figured stuff out, like all the exotics and things like that. I don't want to know. I just want to fluidly discover new exotics.
Yeah, I'm also very excited to see the new supers, and I kind of wonder if they're going to be like the new supers that they added in the Taken King, where there's going to be a special quest for each of them, so that you can go through this like story thing in order to feel like you've earned it and learned something about it, rather than just been gifted this new ability.
So Black Armory is something I'm really interested in. The annual pass was such a good idea, I think, because we've talked about this before. We don't really care about the story. Even now that they're doing like a darker setting, and it's not just like, oh, a random character has shown up and he's got a lot of funny things to say to you while you do this mission. Now it's like more gear and activity focused. So like the Black Armory, I feel like is the perfect test of this, because it's all weapon based. Like we're gonna see they put all their efforts basically, I think, into creating new and interesting like things to collect for this. There's not necessarily a story. It's basically like, hey, look at this huge like collection of, like, they said it was the most powerful golden age like tech. So I don't even know what that's going to be, and I'm super excited to see what that is. I hope it's not just a bunch of reskinned stuff. I don't think it will be. I think they've spent much time on it.
That was a big problem originally with Destiny 2, was that there was only like a handful of models of weapon, and then everything was just sort of reskinned. And of course, because there wasn't random rolls on it, like once you got one version of that, you never needed another one. But also like getting other versions of a weapon that looked exactly like the other one, they just had slightly different stats or like maybe a little bit different perks, but they were otherwise the same gun. Like that wasn't exciting either. But random rolls are back, so that's exciting. You're gonna like grind to get the perfect version of the gun you want, but also like every month there's going to be new legendaries, and there's going to be new like you said, we maybe are sitting here with our fingers crossed hoping that they're not just reskins of, you know, existing models, but they're like actually new designs. That's my hope, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, like every month there's going to be, or every event there's going to be new versions of these, or new
They took all the energy it would have taken to like build a new patrol area or like build an entire new activity, and I believe that they just dumped it into making new interesting weapons, which I think is a great idea.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting to me, I think.
Another thing they did, there's like crazy long, difficult, a little grindy quest lines that will take a super long time, and they're very hard, but they allow you to get titles in the game. So like it'll have your name, and then under your name it'll say like The Chronicler. That's something that's new and interesting as well. Yeah, and like I wonder how many of these things are going to be like available on the free side for the people who are like... Good question. Maybe they want to still play Destiny, but they feel burned, so they don't want to drop the money. And so they're going to still dip their toes in now and then, like during the different events. So they're still going to get something out of Destiny 2. They're just not necessarily getting the full version of it. So I wonder how scaled down it's going to be. Yeah, it's a good question. Zach, they're bringing back Grimoire, it seems like. Yeah, but in-game now. In-game Grimoire. You can complete activities to acquire basically pages of text and learn about lore. You can actually acquire lore in-game, which is great. It's what we wanted, because the first one, people were like, oh, the Grimoire, we don't like that it's out of the game. So in Destiny 2, they just got rid of Grimoire, which we were like, no, we wanted the lore. We just didn't want to have to like go on Bungie.net to look at it. So they have fixed that. The tone of the vidoc they released was like, we get it. Like, this is a combination of everything. Like, people thought that Destiny 2 was going to be a combination of everything we learned from Destiny 1. It was not. And so this is just like Taken King. Like, there was a guy in the vidoc that was like, I haven't felt like this since Taken King, where we released a game, we got a lot right, we got a lot wrong, and now we're taking everything we learned and we're putting it into this content update that is going to make the game what it was meant to be. And that's Forsaken. They think the game was meant to be like, this is a year of basically R&D and feedback, and it's also supposedly things they've learned from Destiny 1 as well that they're re-embracing.
Yeah, finally. It's about time. They did say that they, they didn't embrace the changes that they'd made, and they should have, and now they're finally learning from that. So, people are gonna hold out and wait. And, you will still get the free stuff, so you'll still be able to do that. But I feel like it's a good way for them to sort of get those players to come back. Just the fact that they're going to be able to get in there and see the changes and see whether Bungie actually kept their word about, learning their lesson this time.
We'll see. And we're going to have a ton of videos about this. It's launching on September, 4th?
Yep, September 4th.
Which is less than a week away for us as we're recording this. So
also, September 1st, there's a free 24-hour trial of the new Gambit mode.
Yeah, for everyone. You don't have to have pre-ordered or anything.
Yeah, and that's before the actual launch of Forsaken.
Also, we should say, we said this in the podcast, but Destiny 2 is the free game with premium, with PlayStation Plus this in September. So you should pick up Destiny 2. Like, you get a bunch of free stuff now that there's these 2 tracks where they're still going to be helping people that don't have the DLCs. You're still going to get new weapons and like Iron Banners and other stuff. So definitely pick up Destiny 2 and like consider, like, watch our videos obviously and see if Forsaken is all we think it is. But I think it's a good time to get into Destiny 2.
It is a very good time to at least check it out. It's free. Why not?
Yeah, so look forward next week. We're going to have some videos when it actually comes out. We'll maybe do some profiles on some things. But yeah, thanks for watching this video.
See ya.
Goodbye.